And sustained at the moment, coming into game 3, already 2 games up against Newbee. Newbee maybe with a little bit more of a fast-paced lineup, maybe some more energy behind them, had a good conversation between game 2 and game 3. Can they force a fourth?
Yeah, I think so. I think this lineup from Newbee, I said in the last game they were making the right adjustments. I think now they've taken it even another step in the right direction, even further. Now they forced mind control off that Venno and the Nature's Prophet. Yep. The bans, again, I pretty much agree with what Newbee were doing in the first phase. And now their approach is, okay, last game we had the lanes, but we didn't push fast enough. So now we're going to have the lanes and the push this time. So they have Venno, Shaman, and Death Prophet to push out, and some pretty strong laners to go with it. Liquid's draft is a little bit different for them. The Darkseer they haven't had the most success with, and this Juggernaut pick is pretty uncommon at this main event, so... Do
you actually worry with the hero pickups they have? Like, we're not going to say Matomaman's Necros can be a bad pickup for them, but a lot of it takes a lot of farm to get online. Like, how long do you take before you get the Rod of Atos? How long until you get the mech on the Darkseer? How long until Juggernaut has sustain outside of Death Pulse as well as Healing Ward? Like, when does he have his Mantra or Diffusal? All these items, and you start to beg the question, how long will this take? And then you're up against a team that can add pressure with Plague Wards all the time. They have engage and disengage through the Centaur Stampede, Mass Serpent Wards, Exorcism, all these abilities to start lacquering on top for Newbee. Can they force the issue before Liquid is ready?
I think so. If the lanes go well for Newbee in this game, they have the tools to very quickly snowball this game out of control. Getting the Roshan, getting towers, plenty of ways of doing it. I think for Liquid it's very crucial that they get to use the Ion Shell on Juggernaut at the earlier stages of the game for fights, because they, apart from that, they don't have that much they're bringing to the table. They have the Lich and Shaker, who are both in each their ways fairly slow build-up supports. Lich wins a lane, but still takes some time. Shaker as a roamer is pretty lackluster with specific heroes. I don't think he has that great synergy here. He's with a Darkseer that's like okay. The Necrophos mid he can't necessarily kill with, and then the Juggernaut is possible, but difficult, right? So I'm looking for Liquid's lineup to struggle to find kills early, and if Newbee can capitalize on that, finding their own and this time push and not face an Alchemist late in the draft, this time they can actually convert it into a win. I think this is Newbee's best draft of the finals. If they can't win this game, then Liquid is just hands down the better team today, like by quite a lot.
They do have the advantage in the laning phase of Vision while supporting it to get that early game you're talking about, avoiding the kills, the rotations of GH being effective. The 2 Observer Wards from Newbee focus on that hillside to the south of the bottom rune, and the other one smack bang in the middle lane. So Vision is covering the south as well as the mid. Earthshaker, he wants to rotate up towards top lane and try and kill off the Centaur. Warrunner, good luck, it's going to take you some time to do it. So they're feeling very secure in that lane. In fact, they're even going to run a double lane. Karka as well as KP are together, so they have a double stun lineup, which should be very, very effective against Miracle. They just have to keep Miracle away from the lanes, and Karka already doing it. Burrow Strike, Health Stomp, they're dropping the Juggernaut down to 1/3 of his life. If Karka can get this body block off as well, Miracle trying to create a little bit of space. Newbee, Miracle has to be forced into the spin. You got a secondary Burrow Strike. They can go under the tower, but they won't do it. Healing Sound plus Tango being burnt by Miracle. They'll stay safe under the tier 1.
Good initial pressure from Newbee on this lane.
Oh, there you
go. Trying to connect
the fissure was raised, but not from.
There's no kill potential in this mid lane. SCC can't die to these 2 heroes. There is absolutely no way unless he completely scoops up something. So GH is just trying to do whatever little he can to just pressure SC and force him to use some regen. That fissure did pretty much nothing. And SC is having a good time here, forcing Matomaman under his tower with this double wave. And now GH is like, okay, not really happening in mid. I'm going to move towards
Karka.
Maybe there's an opportunity here. Good fissure.
With the Frostbite and the last attack from Kuro, flying over the rock wall. First blood spilled, very, very aggressive.
This is what I'm praising GH for so much. It's that game sense, you know, like he goes mid, just shows himself. Newbee are like, okay, Shaker's mid. He vanishes from mid, immediately goes for this play that is, the way I see it, his only kill on the map is this exact hero with this exact ally. It's very specific subset of things that need to happen, and Liquid set it up beautifully and get themselves first blood on the Lich. So Kuro getting some fast boots out.
I'll take
plenty of money to take care of courier duty as well. It's another fissure mid to GH. Has the arcane rune. Might as well get a little bit annoying with that.
He actually holds the creep.
Bounty runes.
He holds the creep wave back far enough that Matomaman doesn't even have it come on. Okay, now I'll come onto the tower. But that's a double wave for Death Prophet. to try and farm up, which is a nice injection of CS and experience into him, unless GH wants to do something about it. But the Observer Ward from Newbee does scout it out, so even if this fish does fly, you can see SCCC understands just how tanky he is and just how much of a hard time Newbee will have to, Liquid will have to kill him.
Yes. GH at the same time, recognizing that the bounty runes cannot have been picked up because all of Newbee's heroes have been showing, so he goes and takes the enemy bounty rune first. Now he can still go back toward his own. He has a whole minute to do that. He's just going to fissure off Faith and be really annoying. Mind Control actually coming in here with a level 2 Ion Shell. Faith, there is a crevice to get through.
He just needs a little bit more movement speed.
He's going to be fine.
330 versus the 295. Good for a Shaman to have those early boots to keep the run going. Still want to keep my eyes pretty closely on mid. I know it's mainly because we've had the Earthshaker rotating around, but this is the time when Kaka finally moves off the top lane. It is daytime, which makes it difficult for him to close the distance. There is no dire Observer Ward watching this mid lane. The GH is back. Faith is here as well. Everyone's prepping, apart from Kaka, who's just having a one-on-one battle with Kuro. But GH has to be careful of where he is. Faith comes up, the Observer Ward is there. Knows what he's up against, and everyone's just going to run away. But this is a lot better start for Newbee when you look over it. Like, yeah, okay, you gave away first blood, but Mugi's getting really good farm. SCCC's getting really good farm in the mid lane. KP's finding experience on the off lane, so that Stampede arriving at an earlier time is great for Newbee to disengage from Team Liquid's aggression.
He's getting good CS as well on the Centaur. I think this hero can fall flat a lot of the time. I think it's really weak without any items. Like, there's a lot of other options in this patch that deal better with being put under pressure, but Centaur really needs like that Blink Dagger to start having an impact, and then compare it over to the Darkseer, where sure, if you don't have the mech, maybe it's not the best hero, but you can at least utilize your team with that Ion Shell. All Centaur really offers is the Stampede. It's nice, but it's an ultimate, so you know, then you're kind of a walking ulti at that point almost. It's a bit hard to get as much out of your hero. So it's very good news for Newbee that all three of their cores are getting good farm.
Kuro's trying to get that aggressive Observer and Sentry Ward down behind KP. Either that, they run in towards the mid. Fate able to reveal like Kuro and GH, both Frost Blast and the Fissure being committed. Basically negligible damage as Matubberman wants to go underneath the tower. Kuro does put the Observer Ward down. A quick ping came out from Shaman saying that he's around here.
He's trying to see if he can get eyes on Kuro and see that he used the ward, but he might just assume that was the case. See, there's no
He'll get vision now. He's walking underneath an Observer Ward.
Right.
So yeah, they're pinging, and they pinged exactly the spot of that Observer Ward.
Essentially, it is a guess. Kuro could have also put it on the cliff to the left, but it seems like Newbee guessed right. Let's see when they get a sentry off this ward. That ward is very good.
Probably one of the reasons too why they scanned. Like they scanned on top of the camps, just to the north of that point. So trying to work out if he ran over the top of the Ancients or not.
Fairly quiet.
They got Faith up here as well. They're looking at Miracle. They don't have the Hex. Okay, yeah, that'll work. Kuro, the Shackles available. Okay, now that Hex is up. Level 3, he was holding onto it. KP with a double edge. Faith takes the kill. So a good movement up from Newbee. They're going to support at exactly the same point they lost their support. Boogie's having the greatest time in the world on bottom. 21 denies and 33 last hits.
This is still a good Darkseer lane though. Mind Control on this hero has had a really high impact in a lot of situations in a lot of games, and it fits very well into Liquid's playstyle of being able to shove out lanes to get information. So the fact that Darkseer is getting this many levels and farm is, you know, it's still a farm Venno for sure, but Mind Control
top lane getting this. Miracle, where's that follow-up? If they got the stun, they do, so there's no spin available from the Spirit side, but Miracle just has to take the physical damage, which he cannot do. Great movement up from SCCC, and they can bring that exorcism to bear on the tier 1 tower on the top.
Definitely going to go for that here. Now that he made the whole rotation up there,
wow.
Boogie.
Even trying to surge GH away from that fight. The Observer Ward from Newbee, seeing Kuro moving to the top. Kaka and KP, they've already set the trap, starting off with a double edge, but no, he attacked first with the Frost Armor, slowing up Kaka. He doesn't have the mana anyway, so he cannot get the Burrow Strike off, but it's allowing SCCC to attack into the tower. That's the more important thing, the creep skipping. But the TP arriving back, but Miracle back into the lane, stopping the tower from falling at least. There's KP, yeah, he cuts through the trees. Quelling Blade, he doesn't have hook stop, they're so short of mana. At least they got the Burrow Strike back on Kaka, but no more creep wave under the tower, really.
They got a lot of damage into that tower. Liquid lost 1,000 health, and the trade-off is, I guess Matumba did some decent chip damage in mid, but Faith is getting good levels, and you look at this Newbee lineup and you feel like, okay, when they have all of these ultimates available and they have their key items, they will just start almost like Death Ball with their heroes. They just really want to group up as 5 and take objectives. The question is if Liquid will have the tools to deal with it in time. I'm pretty sure we're going to see the first Roshan from Newbee pretty early in the game. And if Liquid want to get it, they have to steal it. They can't take it themselves. Very unrealistic with their lineup. GH is
really close to Faith. Fresh Observer Ward down. He's got his own Observer Ward down as well, so Faith will hang him quickly. Shackles not available. In fact, he used the Ether Shock, so the mana isn't available. In fact, now with Mookie moving over, they have enough to slow through the Plague Ward. Gale is going to connect on his target. SCCC with the Plague Ward up on the hill, realize no one else is there from Team Liquid. Then while that's going on, top lane, the spin from Miracle. He has the Omni Slash available, but the Burrow Strike from Kaka holding Miracle in position. He'll go into the tree, taking a lot of damage from the tower. Has to have the Healing Ward to give him life. Kaka, Burrow Strike in 2 seconds time. He can go once more, but the Healing Ward's causing problems, but maybe not enough. He has the damage, does he? The Healing Ward protection's available with the spin on Miracle. He'll live and sound back up once more.
If KP had 100% faith in that perfect Sanding stun, I think they could have killed each other together. Pretty sure he had double hit ready again, so Newbee, a little bit of a missed opportunity there, but still good for them to survive at the very least, get their Centaur out of trouble. And the lane's continuing with the pressure. Venomancer takes the bottom tier 1, top tier 1. The next on the menu for him. Miracle.
Right in, dodging that hooks on from KP Kaka. He doesn't have the mana for a Burrow Strike, and there was nothing he could do while Miracle was immune. But Matumba could do something else. He's ready to wrap around the back. The creep wave's coming under the tower.
The classic Necrophos dive.
Yeah, Reaper Side's available. What are you going to do? Matumba, damage to him? I suppose you can hide invisible. That's a great way to dodge it.
Works pretty well. You can still hit Death Pulse, but would need to lose like 4 or 5 of them to kill off Kaka. And Kaka's just gonna back off, get a clarity.
Boogie's switching lane through now. Feeling the pressure coming on the top lane, they'll fortify up. Faith moving up as well, so Team Liquid, they were hoping for a free tier 1 tower on this top lane. It ain't gonna happen. Boogie's got his combination ready. And there's a lot of farm. In fact, the fact that Creep Wave is hitting that bottom tier 1 tower is warning bells for Team Liquid to back off the top lane.
I think we're gonna look at the smoke here at the moment for Newbee. They're grouped up as 3 with the Poison Nova available as well from Newbee. Could try to look for a kill in this top area into that tier 1 tower. If they kill the Juggernaut here, for example, that tower is theirs for taking. In the meantime, though, slow here. This will be a stun coming from Sand King.
Miracle has Omni Slash available, but he knows he doesn't want to do it when Sandstorm's available. That's not the way for him to find a kill.
Kaka just wants to push the wave out and get a board out. Sitting up the board with the Sand. There's the Stampede though, and this will be the kill.
The Shackles hold him there. That's a huge kill. Miracle to fall with Mookie already up. The tier 1 tower in the top lane stays numbered.
I love plays like this where you can tell Newbee have already set up, coordinated, and already have
Kaka. They can set up on this one. Kaka Burrow Strike. He cannot survive, but Tubberman still having the range for the aura. Level 3 in it. Kill off Kaka, but he doesn't get sighted to death at least. But a lot of pressure on top lane, depending on how
they do have Mass Serpent Wards. I think if they plump those down together with the Plague Wards, they will be getting the tower, but
Faith's backing off.
Faith wants to go mid instead.
Yeah, they're switching their attack to work with SCCC, who's got the Exorcism available.
This might be a good idea. I mean, the top tower is pretty low, right? So it's a big ultimate commitment for such a low tower. This way, they make sure they have a 2-lane siege.
They're going to get a Burrow Strike around the back if possible. DH is looking to defend. Kaka, there's your Mass Serpent Wards, Fisher to go out. Burrow Strike going to connect on that mid lane. Exorcism is out too. GH low on life, doesn't want to come close, but it's Necrophos who's shackled up, taking a lot of damage from that Exorcism face. No, he's going to die. No, Catapult bouncing off the Chain Frost. The Darkseer back wall. He got to make a little bit more problems. Fissure is out, so Kaka being broken out of his Sandstorm, out of the Invis. SCCC wants to bring the damage in close, but with 3 heroes already rotated over from Team Liquid, it just ain't going to happen. The only thing which is happening to Newbee is that top tier 1 tower being claimed by Mookie. So they got all 3 tier 1s at 12 minutes, which is a very good timing, but not really too much of a gold lead to show for it. They've lost a couple of heroes. I think Kaka's dive there on the Shaker, very optimistic. Like, there's no real follow-up to it, so they couldn't really turn that Sanking Stun into anything, and he ends up dying in the end together with the Shaman. Liquid are just playing the small advantages that they do have in the moments to
give it a pretty even game. So they have a couple of towers to claim, which means Liquid are ahead on raw farm. There's more gold on the map for them in these towers. Let's see if they want to make a move of their own.
Well, they're coming to bottom lane, but KP's already out. TP very quickly away.
Yeah, the tower's gone.
Yeah, but if they pressure bottom lane, Moogie's already up on top to continue the pressure. You have Stampede available, so it kind of gives Newbee the confidence to go a little bit deeper than they normally would. And the fact they're doing that means they can potentially catch out GH. GH, the man who's found Blink Daggers at insane rates, now just has to run away. Sand King has that level 3 Burrow Strike. He does not have the range on GH just yet, but when GH holds behind the tower, the Observer Ward, it doesn't see him. He's in a small crevice. Now he comes out. Faith will see him. And well, no, they're not going to use it just yet. Necrophos starting his TP in, so Faith will just drag the wave down.
I actually thought Kaka had eyes on him earlier and they were going to stampede for it, but I guess he was just outside of the knife range of Sand King. So no kill, and Liquid defend. So buying more time for their lineup. They just need space and time to farm and get these towers. Juggernaut is doing a pretty good job here. Miracle finding some good farm. The Darkseer has been relatively quiet, but it will now be completing the mech soon.
Dire's middle tower isn't going to last long.
900 away, but he can farm pretty quickly with this Ion Shell help. Mind control.
As long as he times the last hits, right?
He's letting Mind control get some CS.
He'll take that. He'll take the last 2.
Yep.
But this is still a good position for Newbee too. Like we've been looking for something that gets them back into this series, and having real superb team fights from Newbee, which is an essential thing against Liquid's sustain. That's what it's all about. That's going to give us our clash. That's going to give us our clash that we're really searching for.
Newbee need to get a Roach, I think. Get some wards out here, start putting that pressure. They have the Mass Serpent Woods, they have the Exorcism. It's a lot of ulti commitments, but it would be a good move. Instead, they're going to turn it into a rotation toward top into tier 2. That's also a great high impact play if they can pull it off.
If they can kill Matumberman. He's the man looking to build a Radiance. Fate's just going to get close enough to get the next to observe what they have behind. They see everything stampeding forward. Exorcism is down. There's a lot of damage. KP is taken, but they'll still get the kill onto Matumberman. SCC once more. Kuro TP'd in to try and help out, but now he's trapped. Kaka, no Burrow Strike for another 2 seconds, but the Exorcism will do the work, and Kuro, Kaka even commits it to ensure it. So that's 2 kills up on the top lane, and now pressure to the tier 2 tower.
Looks like Liquid don't want to give up the tower though. They're going to send in Shaker and Darkseer trying to delay the push.
Well, Mass Serpent wards it down. Liquid might think twice about it. At least Mind Control gives the buckler effect for Kaka. Burrow Strike, he's looking at Mind Control, but knowing that GH has the vision behind the lines is not what they want to go into. So they'll let the Mass Serpent Wars die, or maybe not. Miracle's coming in from the south. Burrow Strike up, Kaka actually dodging the back, but he cannot dodge the spin of Miracle. He's also Iron Shell bumped up, double TP's out. SCCC, his TP's coming off cooldown in a second. He had to move one of his null talismans out of his backpack, and now starts it, but GH Echo slams it down. The silence, it needed to connect on the Earthshaker.
Yep. He tried to get the silence on both of them, both the Jugger and Shaker, but GH was just out of range.
Difficult to do when you don't have that vision.
I think if he committed for a silence on Shaker, he might have lived. I'm not sure if Juggernaut had enough damage with Ion Shell and level 1 Omni Slash to actually kill the DP out of the TP there, but good kills for Liquid. They defend their tower, and they played these small advantages. They had 2 dead heroes, and they still defended their tower and found exit kills, just using that Ion Shell and the rotating Juggernaut very well.
I'm still interested though, like when Newbee had that big string, like just finding these exit kills, Liquid are coming in force, understanding they can find them, because you haven't felt the effect of the Venomancer yet. Newbee continues to farm up, and he only really comes to during the fights when this tier 1 tower on the top lane is being threatened. And that's what they're doing. Observe wards on the hillside. Faith and moving close enough. They'll get the hex. Pull up Shackles. The vision. Nice from GH. Force off Stampede from KP. Trying to create space. Lynch holding won't continue his bounce, however. But KP's on the wrong side of the track. Omni Slash. They have enough damage to get through Kaka. But Miracle trapped under the towers. KP still alive. He ran all the way up to the north. Even has his Blinker Babble and seals the bounty room from Team Liquid. It's a call for a support. The top tower. It does fall in favor of Matumberman, who committed in. SCC's Spirit Sight, but not enough to dissuade him from the attempt.
Liquid were looking for a vacuum into Fissure combo there, and they got it off decently, but not fully. And the Stampede allowed them to disengage without. That looked really scary for Newbee. If they don't have Stampede there, they lose like 3 or 4 heroes. So a really key ability for them to have against this Liquid lineup. And it's very clear there. You can see what the idea behind the Centaur pick was.
Shaker has his Blink Dagger.
Yep.
They've got that initiation now onto GH.
If he had that fight, that would have been a stop for Liquid. So
yep.
Newbee can't afford to get vacuumed like that again. If they get 2 or 3 hero backed into Shaker Echo, the fight's just lost.
Yep.
Really careful.
That's when they're going to need maneuverability from both Stampede to space creation from Centaur. The fact that Venomancer will soon have his full Hurricane Pike. You need a Yule Scepter for SCCC to stay alive, and that is coming out in the courier. In fact, both of those items are arriving on the courier. Maneuverability getting better. Interesting, the Faith is actually not helping him out with maneuverability. He's going straight for push line. He's going to the Aghanim Scepter rush on the Shaman after having just the Arcane Boost.
Kind of shows what the game plan is, right? You want the Shamans to get a timing when they can just go to try and hit the game. A lot of the times these Shamans go for Staff Glimmer or Blink. And all 3 items have their value in this game.
That's a nice room. Double damage room, but the bad thing is the Echo Slam catching on SCTC. They're already using that Hurricane Pike to get him free for the Stampede. They'll turn around, Nasa forwards it down too. They find the kill into the Earthshaker. Now Newbee want to roll with the momentum into Mind Control, who stands his ground, taking it for the team. Exorcism has been burnt, and there is a creep wave here to work with. But what Newbee want is something bigger. They want Roshan.
This is their good time. 10 seconds on Shaker, 30 on the Darkseer. Don't think they are in any position to contest this. This was the big moment we were waiting for Newbee, where they find the key kill close to that objective. Getting the full value out of Exorcism here. He's even going to heal up to full here. SCC did so much damage to the Ghost that he's ready to go somewhere else. Roach will fall, and they'll probably give the Aegis to
And it is on Boogie. GH has to be really sad. That was the first reveal of his Blink Dagger, and it didn't really come with the big impact they wanted. Miracle has still been able to find a lot of farm in the meantime, rapidly approaching his command style. But he's still behind in the net worth, only by 600. And that's to the Venomancer. Hurricane Pike, Aegis Immortal. What else? He hasn't have anything else coming out at the moment. He's just got those critical items.
The Pike made that fight, man. The Force Staff or the Pike usage immediately on the Death Prophet got him into a very good position where he could counter-engage. Not sure, Liquid were probably not accounting for that play when GH jumped in. It's just like, okay, if we catch anyone, they don't have any save in their lineup. They have Stampede, which they can't use when they're stunned, but no, that little bit of Force Staff usage there really turned the tide. Big tide in the road. Gonna be looking for more of that from them. Still a very close game.
Yeah, that's actually the real first advantage that Newbee have got. It's just the fight straight out. So they go up in the gold, they go up in the experience, but you're still hovering around that 2k just above and below for experience and gold advantage in favor of Newbee. That's not really enough to say you have a victory over Team Liquid. In fact, even if you had 20k, you don't think you had a victory over Team Liquid.
You're 20k ahead and 22. That's kind of real, man.
That would be...
I don't know if I've ever seen a team come back. Well, you know, they're just 18k off, so if they get that in the next 30 seconds, then you're right. Looking forward to that play out of Newbee.
Thanks for your analysis, Minrin. You're absolutely, you're a dear. Shaker ready to fight on bottom lane already. Newbee are feeling someone is down here. They're scanning inside their own jungle, waiting for the Liquid attack. This is where Moogie needs to get those Plague Wars down, get really good vision, which Liquid already have. That Observe Ward just to the south side of the tree line. They see the defense that Newbee has in position, even in this nighttime cycle.
This is actually something we didn't talk about at all about Liquid's lineup. I think this is the first lineup from Liquid we've seen today in all of their games where they don't have a single vision hero. And that is, to me, this guy has been more about vision than any other PI.
Oh, my top
lane.
Echo Slam, Kaka.
That's what happens if you don't have vision, and you die. Meanwhile, on bottom,
Matumba?
got a little bit of a book reading club.
I'm sorry, book reading club, they're going to be down here in a while. Maybe you can cut down the trees, make some paper, and write something interesting.
These two heroes, well, they look like they will spend a lot of years reading.
Well, Lich does come with his own book.
Yep.
Oh, look over my shoulder and read, Matumberman.
Do you guys get out?
I'm not
TPs, they're just standing there.
They're scanning, they don't see anything. Like, they have their Observer Ward near the tower, but they don't know where Venomancer and Shadow Shaman have left to. Like, if they wanted to, they could drop mass Observer Wards at the Tier 2 tower on bottom.
They want to cut the wave. I thought they were just going to TP out, but saving the TP scroll so they have the ability to move around the map, and we'll just let them feel safe now, so you can walk up. Take care of business here, get those creeps killed. Almost has the Radiance. It's a big item in this game for the Necropos. Just ramping up that farm, synergy with the Veil.
You know, the more and more I'm looking at this game, the more and more issues I see Team Liquid taking high ground. Like, you look at the build coming in from Mugi, going to go in for the Maelstrom. Like, that is a lot of bonus damage, a lot of push. Kuro, Mugi actually stopped attacking for half a second. It's the Crypt Swarm from SCC that will reach him.
They should drop the circuit force here, I think.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, you're going to have ward-on-ward action, and then you have even more push coming in from the Maelstrom. I don't know if Liquid can really knock down that wall fast enough. And even if they do get advantage in the game, how do you then push against the Newbee when they have a pre-prepared position?
It's difficult. It is really difficult for Liquid Zeros to take a fight into this rely on it. Newbee know it, so they're just going to go for one tower into the next. This Age is the Immortal on Venomancer. He could just cross straight down the bottom and take the tower, or just try to go for high ground.
Yeah, put down a Plague Ward, at least see what's there.
They have an Arcane Rune on the Death Prophet.
Darkseer just TP back in. The Plague Wars don't seem deep enough. They only see Matama, they don't see Kuro Mind Control and GH. So Exorcism is up for the Death Prophet. He has a Yorsef taking a lot of damage, but Master One's also down. Matama taking the damage in order to get rid of a couple of them. Mugi, there's more wars where they came from. That mid tower dropping quickly, 600, 500. Fortification used by Team Liquid, trying to hold them out. Mind Control trying to wrap around through the north, hoping to get into the back lines of Newbee. But that wonderful back combination doesn't happen. In fact, Surges to get back inside the base and keep the defense going. The tier 3 tower at 283, but it looks like enough. Newbee are happy with the chip damage. They will now disengage.
They can wait another minute and have Exorcism again, but then they won't have their Aegis anymore. So, we'll see what Newbee's play call is. I think it's a difficult one to make without the Aegis the second time. This time that was not too difficult for them to realize that that was definitely favoring them.
It's the items you're looking for. So Aegis times out. The pipe is actually flying out the courier right now to KP. So they'll have that extra control. The Rod of Atos has also arrived for SCCC. They've got a lot of immunity on him. Scepter, Wood of Defiance, and now Rod of Atos has 1640 worth of HP. But somehow they need to find the damage on Liquid to get through. You're still working on Diffusal Blades for Miracle. That's not there. And life gets even harder. A full Radiance is done. Well, at least for the Necro. So I say harder for Newbee in the team fight to get every single hit.
Kaka?
Yeah, middle of nowhere. And silent. Executed.
He didn't know GH was there. He blinked into the side and then GH is on. He's like, wait, what? Cast a couple spells, got the kill from Matumba. There's no Reaper kill, so 1 minute out of play.
I think GH stole his Flame's luck for finding everyone in the tree line.
I think Inflame had vision. That's like a... It's a bit of a different story when you're playing heroes like Puck and Bad Rider. You can at least see things. And I think Liquid are doing a good job in Miracle.
He needs vision of this. He's starting his spin. He won't have time. He can't TP out now. The Stampede, they're trying to close the distance so the Hex from Faith can come out. The Plague Ward going to block the retreat off the Juggernaut. He doesn't know it. That's why the movement path sent him back towards the south. KP comes in to lend the extra stun. And Juggernaut will fall on the top lane. I don't know if Liquid can really get a rebuttal. They're pushing in the mid lane. So at least they get momentum.
Pretty rare mistake from Miracle. He seems to always have these TP things under control when he's playing Juggernaut, but that time he didn't have it in his inventory. He uses the spin, he's like, wait, I don't have a TP. Has to run to the side shot, just gets caught. And a big kill at that. It probably enables Newbee to, if not take this top tower, then at least force rotation and deal with their problems bottom when the Sand King was dead for a minute.
The top tier 2 tower has 451 HP. Like, that's not worth the defense. And there's a Siege Catapult coming in as well. All they can look for is raise. Oh, wait, what?
Okay, that's
what was it? We were casting, okay, bottom lane. We might go back to that moment on top lane. McGale out from Mugi. Nova being committed. GA starting his TP. Yorsef will end up cancelling that one. Necro wants to run away. The Lynch ulti gonna bounce perfectly. GA has the stun. Mugi's BKB will also be expected to hold that lane. Was it LFY we were talking about, who were just so efficient with their usage of abilities? You never committed more than you had to. That was a heavy commitment from Newbee to put down the Mass Serpent Wards.
Yeah, I didn't really like their positioning very much on that play. They Yule up the Shaker and then they meleeed him so he could stun them, and that's set up for the Chain Frost. They also used the Silence way too early on the Death Prophet, so a little bit of a misplay, forcing them to use the BKB of that Veno. PP was obviously completely fine with that Hood, taking very minimal damage from the Lich ulti.
But this is what Newbee kind of need to tease out at the moment. You're 2 games down. They happened in a really dominant fashion. So we didn't really touch on it much. The fact that Newbee had to pick themselves up from such a defeat during the biggest match of their lives. It's the TI Grand Final.
I like the way Fly talked about it just logically. You know, it's like, you need to win your games. You can win the first 3 games, you can win the last 3 games. It doesn't matter if you win 3 games. And if they need to lose 2 games to figure out what it is Liquid are so good at and how they need to draft against them, then those are the losses you're willing to take. And I think those first 2 games for Newbee were really drafting experience. I don't think they misplayed horribly. I don't think they were like, oh, our coordination is so bad. They needed to learn how to play Dota against this Liquid team. And if this game is any indication, this is definitely the best chance they've had so far at taking the game off. They stole the Venomancer, they banned out the Nature's Prophet. They are the ones playing the high-tempo push style with these heroes that can knock down objectives, and Liquid are more on the back foot.
That they are. They need to get into the front lines. Their 4-man smoke will try and do this. Same time, Newbee were looking to do the same kind of thing, but you didn't have the mana on Faith. It's grouping up with the rest of Newbee around Roshan, which is up, so if you do lose the tier 2 tower, no one's defending this. They would burn Exorcism of SCCC. I'm sure this Roshan goes down very, very quickly. As you mentioned, Faith, he went back to regenerate as well as pick up the Aghanim Scepter. Liquid, they are coming. But do they get here quick enough? The Plague Wards are down. Karka staying outside the pit. They know that Liquid are to come from the south. The Hex is out already. Miracle spinning inside the pit. Roshan's down low. The back wall is nice. The Master was it down 2, but the air is left. Let's Yossi. It's huge. 3 down for Newbee. They need to be able to find the big BKB to allow Mugen to find the Miracle. Killing off Roshan. Taking the Agency more. The Master was doing diddly squat at the moment. Even the sight. Heavy damage into Mugi on the retreat. The Burrow Strike not hitting the money. Karka has to retreat back out again. The Plague War's making it difficult for Liquid just to get out of this scot-free. But now defusing way down from Miracle, catching up Mugi, ending the dominating streak. And the big advantage that Newbee had just disappeared.
It's a beautiful combo here from between the Darkseer and the Earthshaker. So look at how GH backs off to the bottom right. Mind Control runs and gets the 2-man back wall. And Shaker Fissure into Blink Echo here. And Karka can't really get in from the right-hand side. He was getting his blink cancelled by the Radiance of Matumba Man you see walking in. So this whole team fight for Newbee just didn't work out. I think the problem for them is that they didn't have the right heroes in the right position to break the smoke. Shadow Shaman was in an awkward spot.
Oh, that is not a good facial expression.
KP was not ready. They needed to have a better spread around the pit with Centaur to the, I think, to the bottom and the Sanking to the top right, so that the 2 assault angles of Liquid would get countered by heroes with blinks. And instead Liquid just got an opening, just ran into it. Nobody stopped the Darkseer.
That prepared position I was talking about doesn't exist when the Venomancer is still down or having to climb back when the push arrives. Miracle with the Aegis Immortal does the first bit of damage to the Newbee base, beating into the tier 3 tower. KP's watching him, and they're looking. They get the Hex over on GH, but his face gets caught out. Trying to look for his own Hex. Quick man to stall out. KP looking for the hold stop, but GH is Fidget right on the money. Karka coming in, looking for any kind of stuns that make it so Liquid have overcommitted. Rotovata onto the Necrophos. You've lost your Shadow Shaman, but Venomancer back to the world of living. Nova's available too. Miracle, you can bleed him out, but remember he's still got the secondary life. The Burrow Strike, they're just trying to chip away at him. That tier 3 tower, it's going, it's gone. Miracle will grab it. The spin, he wants to back out now with no magic community. It's too risky to stick around, but they got what they wanted. Tier 3 tower down. The shrines are now opened up, unless Liquid. Do they want to? Do you have Blink Echo Slam? They could just reinsert. And that is exactly what they're looking for.
Newbee don't have information, so they're going to take it easy. Another ward down.
Oh, get away from there, KP. Mind Control. He doesn't have vision on the high ground, or just the fact they lost their ward, tried to back it down.
And they saw the vacuum with their Plague Ward. They were going to back out. So we were talking tradition earlier, at least the panel, where that this is the year that China won last year. It generally alternates. That's one of the things we always have. We've never had a repeat champion in Newbee, but if Liquid win this game, we will have one tradition broken. There's never been a 3-0 in the finals. It's always been 3-1 or 3-2, and Liquid right now could make a little bit of extra history, if you will, by being the first team to get that clean sweep. It's actually a bit crazy when you think about it. There's been 6 previous TIs and never a clean sweep 3-0. You would think it would happen once. This could very well be the year. With that last team fight from Liquid, they put themselves in a very good position.
And even the TI4 finals went 3-1, and that's a bit.
There was 3-1 at every TI except TI3,
Yeah, when it went to the full 5.
That was the only 5-game set we've had, I think.
Alliance is the only time we actually went to 5 at TI.
Yeah.
And it took until Kiev for a repeat at a Valve event at the Major for us also to go to 5, which was the VP OG match.
Has there even been a 3-0 in a Major final? It might have been once. I'm not sure about that.
We can leave that to the boys who love to post up stats. For now, Team Liquid, all they want to do is be crowned champions. And they are working their way towards it. The top 2 networks now belong to the Juggernaut as well as the Necrolite. And Newbee, it's a huge ask. They have to defend, and they know they've lost control of this game. The gold graph was swung by about 10,000 in favor of Team Liquid, not to mention the experience graph racking up about 12k to 13k movement. This is a hard ask. At least Newbee have Plague Wards up from Moogie this time around. They'll have the defense.
Is that a full butterfly? Oh, he has a full butterfly surge. That's like the perfect timing for this push as well. He has another 40 seconds of the Aegis. He's just going to run in and start hitting.
The perfect timing, but watch that Aegis Immortal. If we hit 33-30, you'll know the Aegis will be timing out pretty shortly, but Miracle making the most of that 30 seconds, feeding into the tower. KP with the Hawk Stomp. They have an extra silent. Juggernaut can't do damage. The fortification's doing its work. Mr. Siphon, Karka, Fire Strike, can they wait that a little bit longer? So another 20 seconds so that Aegis is properly gone, but Team Liquid, once again, they go up, they take the tower, and they're looking to come back in once more. Watch that Aegis of the Immortal. They jump in, the Hawk Stomp from KP, catching 2. Aegis still there for the fact. Epicenter is doing its work. The Juggernaut, he's dying. The Aegis Immortal and time down a fraction of a second before. Miracle's gone. The Scythe will get a revenge. KP will fall. Kuro tries to end the trees, but the exit from SCC, they're having the damage output to it. 3 heroes gone from Team Liquid. I want a counter on that Aegis. It had to be half of a second in the timing of the expiration date. And then food poisoning for Liquid. Don't eat off food, bro.
All right. Well,
Karka.
I was wondering when Liquid went for this play to push bottom if they could have just taken mid racks. You know, that I was thinking, okay, here comes the butterfly. Well, let's have a look at this.
Yeah, here's the fight. So KP gets the double stun. Karka brings in a huge amount of damage, but it's SCC that can just stand in the middle of the fight, and there's that timing. The Juggernaut.
It must have been within a second. We saw him have it, then the click was over on the Necro, and he died with the Aegis.
You heard the sound go off at the same time as the Juggernaut died.
Yeah.
That's what made us so damn
That's
close.
timing.
Yep.
Timing for you.
I'm wondering if Newbee had the counter in their mind. If they did, that was pinpoint accuracy, and Miracle could scratch his head and go, you know what, why me? Why me? But this is what Newbee needed. They can turn the graph around, the experience picks back up. That was a very good fight for them. The gold doesn't swing anywhere near as much.
It's not
but they hold their high ground and they keep Liquid out.
Yeah. And Veno is going to close in on level 25, which could make their base defense a lot easier. Probably going to get that triple Plague Ward HP damage talent.
That's what everyone does.
Make it a lot harder for Liquid to siege high ground. Now, the one thing going for Liquid still, even though that fight went wrong, they obviously took the 2 tier 3 so they can get maybe the secondary shrine and set up for Roshan at some point soon. They will want that next Aegis before they go high ground. And I think with this first Aegis, they should have probably taken the mid-racks. I'm pretty sure Newbee could not have contested that. You get the wave bottom to reach the tower, so back doors off, and then you go mid. But Liquid tried to maybe get a little bit too much in that one play.
They tried to win TI in one play.
It's still not a disaster for them. Like, they're still in a good position in this game. Making it sound like Newbee are fully just full on back in the game. I still think Newbee backs against the wall. You know, map control wise is looking tricky for them. Liquid still have that incredible team fight combination that we've just seen in games time and time again.
Bush is coming in on bottom lane.
Something's exciting.
We're looking at heroes picking up. That's what it's about. What you want to look at is Newbee in just a second. They're grouping up, ready for a smoke tank. They have a fresh gem of True Sight given over to Karka. You also want to point out the fact that Karka spent as much money as he possibly can. He's still 900 short of the Agate Scepter, so you can look towards the buybacks of Newbee. And currently, only the Death Prophet has buyback available. But Liquid, they want to fight. Their 5 fans smoked up, moving towards Newbee. But Newbee are home. They are definitely lights on.
This is still going to allow Liquid to get wards out if they have any. They do have 2 wards on Kuro. So if this smoke, quote-unquote, fails, they get map control ready to go. And this is a good smoke. Like, sometimes you don't find kills, but if you get the map control,
GH,
enough. Oh.
GH, he doesn't know.
Close call.
To be honest, I thought GH was able to smell out the Armadillo that was running right behind KP, but now it's Newbee, who will group up themselves. They'll sentry ward down. They see the fact there's an observer and sentry on the hill, so SCC will break his own smoke. And Liquid, a 5-on-5 fight looks to be what's brewing on the top lane. They have their own defensive observer ward where the shrine used to be. SCC's the man on the front lines. It's KP with fresh Solar Crest and Knife of Insight. You need to trigger these off perfectly in order to find the opening. Kaka, yeah, that ain't real, man. No matter how much it is being microed, there's not something. At least there's no chronosphere to commit. Never forget. Let's roar a ball.
So 1 minute roach. Liquid are sitting on this high ground. They're probably not going to move because why would they? They could just stay in this area. Never mind. I'll take that as triggers.
Newbee's trying to make the most out of it. The observer ward saw the courier still floating around inside the dire jungle. So Kaka can go to bottom, get some momentum, get some farm, and he needs that Aghanim scepter up.
Like, I think, so what Liquid are thinking here is we have good vision up here. I thought they were going to stay in this area, but they want to push one more wave out mid and check the road. In many situations, you would see that the team with the high ground vision stay there with like 4 heroes and 1 hero scouting into that road pit. But it was simply this mid wave that they wanted to take care of. Now that that's done, they're starting to get back in.
SCC! Yule steps up, not dropping back down again. The Yule steps the hit! Kaka connects on his stun, follow from KP, but Mind Control drags them back in unwillingly into the fight. KP, he's got no way out, no stampede available. 2 heroes lost from Newbee. Liquid have opened the window.
This is, at the very minimum, buyback force. Maybe they will even get the tier 3.
They don't have those upgraded wards yet from Newbee, so the defense is nowhere near as strong. Yeah, the buyback from SCCC is used. There is no buybacks available from Newbee. So even contesting around Roshan is a dangerous thing. If that fight goes haywire, Team Liquid will be crowned champions.
Yeah, they're going to push out mid. Same logic again, sending in Miracle here. They have a couple of Radiant solutions with 15 seconds on them, so they're going to shove out this wave and go into this Roche pit that they are 100% sure has spawned, because I think we're close to maximum spawn timer. Will never hesitate a little bit, showing a lot of respect to Newbee, who would be 4 on 5 without their Centaur and even a Shrine to TP on. But...
And they don't have Stampede for 15 seconds, but it's a bait. Like, the scanners come in from Radiant, now it has them flagged red. But Liquid have gone back to just keep farming up in the jungle. Are they waiting for a critical item? There is something coming on the courier. It's the full BKB from Miracle. That's what's coming. That's what's going to give Liquid the surprise advantage in the next team fight.
They're going to send in a Juggernaut. These Plague Wards are still not triple. So close to 25 for Moogie, but might come in just a little bit too late.
Someone give this man some space. he needs. Even Shaman was coming to help him just push out the wave. But you are right, without those upgraded Plague Wards, without Liquid having to fight through basically attack towers, they are still the superior ones coming into the team fight at the moment. SCCC does have a little bit more life to work with. Now he's got that plus 10 armor from the plate mount. So trying to at least survive the damage. Miracle, the fact he's also got that diffuser blade now upgraded to his 2nd level. So much to work with. Buyback is available for the Venomancer and Centaur, plus the ES and the Necro, so both sides having 2 buybacks for this fight, while Moogie litters the field with Plague Wards. And he has the upgrade now, so he has the plus, the 3 times Plague Ward HP and damage available.
Liquid will get the information they're waiting for. Their bottom wave is pushing so hard that Newbee has to send a hero back to defend. It's going to be the Centaur, and I think this will make Liquid move up. See Matoma Man immediately moving into the river, starting to try to deal with Plague Wards. Yeah, that's great fun.
Yeah, this isn't going to happen.
Really managing that.
Moogie can just camp the mid lane. He leaves a couple of Plague Wards in the mid, but that's why GH looks for his opportunity. Coming under the cover of Shadow Blade, ventures across the river, getting his feet wet.
Can't really see an opening there.
Yep.
They just want some... see, that is the problem that Liquid's lineup has, right? They don't have that vision. They don't have any way of scouting except planting wards, so they can't really set up their amazing team fight unless they know exactly what the enemy team is.
So
that's what was presented.
Is it a never-ending standoff because of this?
I think Liquid could once again just try to push out bottom with close reaction, or they could close call, but Mark gets out. So Liquid can try to force in bottom. Since there's no tier 3 tower, these barracks have to be defended, but current momentum is going the way of Newbee.
He's got the Gem of True Sight. They're trying to get rid of the Observer Ward they saw on the other side of the hill, so the Plague Ward does it in 2 shots. And Team Liquid, this is not something they want to lose, so they're going to 4-man smoke up. Miracle just used his spin. This feels so much like bait. Boogie feels it too. Scaling into Miracle. They're not committing too heavily in with the Venomans. Remember, he has that BKB. The reaction time was all about Miracle. The Virus Rap from Kaka. It'll connect all up good to a KP. He'll get the sun up the mass set force. Middle of the field, Dark here. Thrown it off. Miracle, the Echo Slam there from GH on the Omni side. And damage out for 2 min with the side. SCC is gone for 2 min. The Lich Chamber bouncing back down. Kaka trying to hide himself, but right now it's all Liquid, Liquid, Liquid. They have taken down 4. You'll get the buyback from the Venomans and GH to the monster. He won't even die for this. Liquid lose nothing, but take everything from Newbee.
That was so close. Miracle with 5% HP got off that Omni Slash, and it turned the entire fight. GH waited as long as he could on that bait, coming with the Echo Slam that broke the shackles and let Miracle get his spell off. And Liquid, that looked so scary. It really looked like Miracle would die, and if he falls there, it's a different story. I don't even think he has buyback on the Juggernaut at that moment. They've got a lot of gold from the fight. They'll take the road. And they're gonna more than likely just head down mid. They have 10 seconds on Healing Ward, so Miracle will be able to hold again.
And they can just do the same as previous, put Miracle on the front lines. Let's have a look at that moment once more. So
he
Miracle,
wants this DD.
He does.
Instant stun, blink away, connect again. Now they're gonna shackle in a moment. So here are the shackles. Miracle's dropping so low. There's the Echo Manta. Omni. Just barely getting bailed out by GH.
And with that double damage upgrade, it's too much. And here comes Liquid into the melee racks on mid. Still no death profit for 40 seconds. Liquid doing severe damage to Newbee home. They'll rotate towards the bottom. The tier 3 towers, that was mere prep work for Liquid. Now they follow through. A nice Virus Strike on the 2. They need more Plague Wars, they need more defense, but Miracle doesn't give 2 hoots. Just keeps beating through the building. Fortifications there to protect the range rack and buy time for Death Prophet to come back to life again. When she's up, she still won't have Exorcism. It'll be on cooldown for another 38 seconds. Miracle, a quick push back. That's the Hurricane Pike going to work. A Tubberman sticking with it. Team Liquid, they're going to make the play for Megas. Death Prophet, 5 seconds until she's up. The Hawkstone blocks the Gale into the next round. Mass left forward. They've got really good range for that Aghanim's upgrade, so they can defend inside the base. Liquid can also wait this out. The Shackles, it holds Miracle. They just keep chaining him across the universe. They hold him. Kaka wants to come out for more, but be careful. GH has Blink Echo Slam up and running.
Healing Ward in the back. Liquid are so close. Just one more good fight. They know there can't be buybacks on Newbee's lineup. They must have done so much economical damage that any big kill...
They see everything. Here comes the Echo Slam. Is it going to be enough or not yet? The Fissure is down. Necro control. It's a nice holding from Boogie. Maybe the regeneration's enough. Miracle. The Agency model will pop face. Able to shackle him forever. Holding him. Up they come once more. No Hex, no instant unavailable. Omni Flash on top of Boogie. The Try's not doing enough. And then, oh, a Miracle Joe. Double kill for him. Diffuse away NCCC. While Centaur controlling the backline. The Exorcism, it needs to do some damage, but right now Newbee dropping like flies. SCG is done. Liquid will be the first team in the history of the International to whitewash the Grand Final. 3-0 victory over Newbee.
They have been absolutely fantastic over the last 2 days. Liquid, they were so close to elimination like 2 or 3 times in a row. And every single time they overcame it. And today they just looked like just flat out the best team in the world. This series, it's not only a 3-0, it was pretty convincing wins for the most part. Just a clearly better team. Big congratulations.
You thought the run could have been over. They were knocked down in the quarterfinals by Invictus Gaming. They did the hard road all the way through the